We are live. I've sort of learnt, well, I'd like to think I've learnt my lesson. Let's see if that... It still looks better. I've actually parked up to do this. Yeah, it still looks the best. I need somewhere to connect my phone so it looks, so I can get more of my, ideally, I would like the phone sound like that. Where would I have to connect it to get that? I'd have to connect it under my mirror. Anyway, that's just me thinking aloud. Welcome to my channel, Bit Glenn. My name's Glenn. I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. Now, I've actually got something special for you. I've got a 3-hour journey ahead of me. I've parked up, I've had my McDonald's breakfast, which was beautiful. I'm not actually driving yet, so no one can say, Glenn, you're breaking the law. So I'm not going to take my eyes off the road once I start driving. So it's all good. It should be anyway. It should be all good. So, a couple things that I wanted to address actually. I will hold the phone actually before I move off. A couple things I wanted to address. My last video was obviously about getting scammed on Uniswap. And the point of that video was to just emphasize to anyone out there that's trying to make the most on Uniswap with all these coins that are getting added to it, that it's not like Binance or Coinbase where normally a coin has to sort of prove itself a bit. You can literally create an ERC20 token, which I've looked into. You can create one for £99. Or you can do it yourself. I mean, this was a company that will just do it literally. It'll do it in 2 seconds, and you just put the name, the ticker symbol, and how many decimal places you want, and then it'll generate an ERC20 token for you. So it's very easy to do, like really easy. And they can just create a coin, obviously have, say, I don't know, 25, 50% of the overall coins deposited to their Ethereum wallet, whatever address they generate. So they create the liquidity on Uniswap. They put in a bit of ETH, they create a website, so it all looks legit, looks like a new up-and-coming project. It's valued at 0. You think, oh, yada, yada, yada. And you put money into it, and then it will ideally pump. But what they tend to do is they refer to it as the rug being pulled. So you'll see a lot of people in these Telegram group chats saying, oh, I just had the rug pulled, or be careful of this coin, they just pulled the rug, which basically just means they take away the liquidity on Uniswap. So you can't even, unless someone else provides a liquidity, which, somebody else is happy to exchange that coin for Ethereum, then you can't sell it. You got all the coins of whatever that coin is, but you can't do anything with it. It's just an ERC20 token that someone created. So that was my point of the video. I wasn't actually that gutted. Yep, it becomes the race for liquidity. I didn't do that video like, oh no, I've lost all my money, I've lost all my crypto, that sort of thing. I was just, it was meant to be just a heads up, because that's what I like to do. I've always said, I like to put my money where my mouth is. I like to try things out, and then obviously I share it with you guys. I've tried to steer clear of being one of these YouTubers that go, oh, I've heard or I've seen online that this is happening, or you can make money easy doing this, or you can do that. I actually try it and then I report on it, and that is why normally I'm a little bit late reporting it to you guys as opposed to some of the other YouTubers, because I actually try it. PrimeXBT, I was trying it a couple of weeks before I talked about Hex. I dabbled in that about 2 weeks before I mentioned it in a video. So I try things out, and what I don't want to do is actually promote any sort of scam or scammy token. So that's what I've tried to avoid for a while. So a lot of people message, so just to clear this up, I was telling people that I was basically just buying coins that I thought were going to pump on Uniswap, and I was watching the comparison between the cost of the coin versus what it would be to trade back to Ethereum, and my goal was to just accumulate more Ethereum. That was it. It's so simple. I didn't care about the project's fundamentals. I didn't care about the project. I weren't even checking. I was just looking at coins that were like pumping within that hour, buying them, sitting there waiting an hour, and then cashing out. And yeah, it is gambling. It is pure gambling, and it's made me obviously learn like a couple of things. So when you actually look into a coin, you can look at how many people actually hold it within an address. On etherscan.io, it will say like 2,000 wallet addresses have this coin. Now the coin that I got scammed by only had like 5. The liquidity, like how much it's being traded over a 24-hour period, was obviously pretty much 0. Whereas some of these coins that have bumped, they've been out for like 3-4 months, and they've had like regular trading volume, sometimes in the tens of thousands. And you can gauge like, okay, this is an active project. The chances of them just pulling the rug the exact moment that I invest in, it obviously is a lot slimmer. Can still probably happen, but it's a lot slimmer than obviously one of these ones that just started. Now with these projects, I was trying to explain in the video that I wasn't that upset about it. I wasn't that fussed. And the reason for that is not because I've got a load of money. Someone commented on, I'm just going to sort of reply to sort of some of the comments that I received in that last video. Someone said, oh, so you've lost all your Bitcoin that you invested? No, I never said that. Someone said, oh, I'm really upset to hear that you've lost all your Hex. I never said that. What I said was that I had 4 or 5 Ethereum off the top of my head in my MetaMask wallet, and that was my, if you like, I'll call it gambling, aka trading, MetaMask Ether wallet. I have separately a wallet somewhere, obviously I don't want to tell everyone where, but that I have my huge holdings of obviously Bitcoin. I have quite a few Ethereum in it. I have some Litecoin, and I think I might have some Monero in it. That I don't touch. I don't look at it. I don't touch it. I don't think about it. I don't even know how much it's worth at the minute. I just don't check it, because obviously it's irrelevant to me until the day that Bitcoin's worth 250, 300,000. That's the day that I'll check that account and be like, oh yeah, look, I can cash out. So I just want to get that clear. My Hex account, the account that I invested in Hex, I put £800 in Hex, and Hex tripled in price. I then cashed out what I had invested in it. So at this point in time, the amount of money that I have in Hex, which I think is about $1,500 now, $1,500, something like that, is completely, I don't know what you call it. It's completely free funds. It's none of my own money. It's money that the project went up by. So I've staked all of that. I've staked all of it because my opinion was that Hex will take a little while to go up in price, and obviously they have this big payday event. I want to take part in the big payday event. Who knows what will happen after that, but I don't know. I can't see it dropping below what I paid for it, because which it could. I'm not saying it's not. It's just that I think by the time you've got another year's worth, I don't know if you guys saw, they advertised on they started advertising on Premier League games, so it was all over the internet. And then someone sent me Piccadilly Circus in London, that the TV that sort of goes down the side of that building and curves around. They were advertising Hex on that, which is it's awesome. And River says, hi mate, how are you? I'm good mate, thank you. I'm on my way up north to check out this property. Got plumbers and electricians there today. So yeah, I haven't lost any of my Hex holdings. I haven't lost any of my Bitcoin or Ethereum that I set aside for long term. And I would suggest that you guys do the same. I always say, don't invest more than you're willing to lose, which I still believe, 100%. And I would put some money aside that is your long-term holdings. Now, this Uniswap idea that I had up north here too, Lancashire. Yeah, I'm heading to Chesterfield, which is not far from Sheffield. Staying in a hotel there this week while I renovate this property. So let me shut this. So yeah, I didn't lose really any of my major holdings that I'm holding on to long-term wise, but a lot of people started messaging me through, oh, I can't believe you've lost all your money and all that. I think some people just look at the thumbnail. They just look at the thumbnail, click on it and comment. They don't actually watch all the way through it, which I understand. You know, some people just either want to boast, gloat, or they just feel sorry for you. And obviously, partly it's YouTubers' fault, because you want to generate a catchy title, so you create a attention-seeking thumbnail and title, and it does that. It just attracts attention, and that's it. Whether that, you know, that attention is people engaging or acknowledging or actually like interested, that's something separate. So yeah, it is partly the YouTuber's fault. I completely get that. Hopefully you guys are all smashing that like button for me. I can't see actually if you guys are, but don't forget to smash the like button. Click subscribe if you're new. Clickbait. Yeah. All my thumbnails normally are pretty honest to what I'm actually talking about in that video. You know. But yeah, you do get some YouTubers that really like milk it. They will really like clickbait, you know. They'll quickly talk about one topic that's in the thumbnail, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then by the way, this video was sponsored by blah, 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 and then they'll go off on a tangent about some other project that they've probably been paid for. So, yeah, so that, I just wanted to let everyone know that this was purely an account that I had just to sort of buy and sell pump and dump type coins, and that was my purpose. I didn't put in more than I was willing to lose. I understood that Ethereum could just go to zero. With this particular project, I actually made 5 Ethereum from a project called, what was it, Love Potion or something. It's a game that you can play called, I think it's called Axel Infinity. You win some, you lose some. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I actually put, I think, the 4 Ethereum that I had into that, and it more than doubled in price. So I cashed out like 9.3 Ethereum. So when then I lost some Ethereum due to another, obviously, coin failing, which I've learned a bit from. You know, I've learned how to check on Etherscan. I've never really used Etherscan before, but now I know where the contact address is. I know how to add coins on MetaMask. I know how to add coins on Uniswap. I understand what the impact cost is. I don't know if you guys know, but at the bottom of Uniswap it has the impact cost, and if it's really high, you lose that percentage straight off the bat. So really, if you're buying a coin that you're buying just because you think it's going to pump. If it has a 10% impact cost and you put in, say, one whole Ethereum, you're only going to have 0.9 of an Ethereum worth of that coin, because the Ethereum, the amount of money you're putting into a project might be like huge. At that point, you could say that you're a wow, if you like, and the impact that you're having on the coin, you're pushing the price up. So as you're buying some of that coin, the price of it's going up, so therefore you lose 10% of it straight away. And I didn't understand that before. I was just clicking it, and it gives you a warning. It says, this has a high impact cost, do you want to continue? And if it's really high, even when you click swap, it says, this is a warning to make sure you understand what you're doing. You're going to lose a certain percent. You have to type the word confirm manually before you type confirm and click OK, and then it will allow you to make that trade. So I have learned those as I go along. Now, it's only worth it if you think a coin that you're investing in, if it has that, if you think it's going to pump more than that in that time frame. So if you think, oh, this coin's going to pump more than 10-15%, then you'll be 5% up. You need it to pump 10% before you even break even. So it is very high cost, high risk, and really it only lends itself to coins that you think are going to pump. Now obviously that is a complete gamble sometimes, and obviously I use that group, the uniswap calls on Telegram, and they actually, it's really confusing, because I saw they posted saying new coin incoming, and then they post a coin, and then you invest in it, and then it just disappears, and then they delete the messages. So I think they're in on it, you know, they're a part of it, but then the next day they'll post like a legitimate, genuine, like, oh, this coin is going to do well, you know, whatever, and I check on like eScanner, I think, oh yeah, it's a legit project, got a legit website, it's got like 25,000 wallet addresses, it's got a load of liquidity. Yep, okay, cool. And because obviously I've distanced myself from it now, I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. I haven't really done it since that video I posted. But then I see them and they're pumping like 70% within a 24-hour period, and I'm like, oh fuck, I should have invested in that. But you know, that is, you are gambling at that point. But my point is that I put a set amount of money in this MetaMask wallet that I am willing to lose. Ideally, I don't want to lose it, but if I woke up tomorrow and I was like, oh, it's gone to zero, I'd be like, oh well. And actually, that money was from the trade that I made with, I don't know if you guys remember the whole Wirecard saga. I invested money into that in the morning, and then it went up like triple the price or something like that, and I made obviously like $1.5 to $2 grand. Well, I actually cashed most of that out, and I actually put it in my bank, so it was like, you know, money that I could actually spend, and then the rest of it I converted into Ethereum, and this is the money that I've been using. Now I then after that put some money into two other projects. I don't even know what they are, but one was called BRDG, which was Bridge Protocol, and the other one was Unicrypt. Again, I didn't really like the look of the website, but Unicrypt done really well. It pumped like 20-25%, but then the other one just drops. It drops like probably 40-50%. So overall net loss of 20% or something like that. So I still have about 4 Ethereum. So this is my point, guys. Like, I have risked 4 Ethereum. I've gone up to just under 10 Ethereum, and then I'm back down to 4 again. So that's a crazy week to have, I suppose. But obviously, that if I didn't capture that scammy coin, and now I've learnt my lesson, I would probably still be sitting at 7-8 Ethereum, which is overall a net up. So if I can help you guys understand how these scams work and what they're doing, hopefully one of you can avoid it and just take part in the ones that do pump. Now, it's not hard to find coins that pump, because when I'm looking at projects that I think, oh yeah, I think that's going to be an overall long-term good gainer, which I believe CRO, I don't know if you guys have noticed, CRO has gone from 12 cent, 13 cent, 14 cent, now at 15, no, it's at 14.5 cent. And that has happened while everything else around it dipped over the weekend. And I'm just really, really impressed with CRO. And a couple of the guys in my Telegram group chat don't like it. They don't like me talking about CRO because they feel it's boring. It's only going like, you know, couple percent here and there, but it's doing it so consistently. Like, it's just, it very rarely has a day where it dips massively down. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it will, but that, to me, that is a long-term investment. At one point I had about £2,000 in CRO. I cashed out £1,000 of it just recently, so I had like $1,100 or something like that in there. But I think now, as I say, it's up to like 1,750. So I'm almost back at my £2,000, even though I sold half of them off. So, you know, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So that means that money, and this is the point of the video when I say, you know, it's time to fill your boots. This is the best investment strategy that I can think of, and there may be people out there that are a lot more mathematical and cleverer than me, but I think the best investment strategy, and I've tried, you know, I tried betting on coins going up and down, I've tried trading, I've tried mining, I've tried staking. The best thing to do is set an amount that you can afford either per week or per month. Say it's £100 a month. Buy some, whatever coin you feel is going to be overall the granddaddy, the big one, the one that you believe has the best long-term longevity. And in my opinion, that at the moment is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I say that, if you listen to a lot of the languages of YouTubers, they're all sort of saying the same thing now, like, oh yeah, Ethereum's my long-term hold, and oh, I think Ethereum's... Whereas before, it was all about Bitcoin. It was just Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Now everyone's saying Bitcoin and Ethereum. You very rarely hear people talk about XRP now. Obviously, Tether's just a stable coin. And then you've got the fake Bitcoin, so you've got Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. So then that takes you into the exchange coins then, BNB, CRO, Cardano, Tezos. But everyone's talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're like everyone's long-term holds, if you like. And if I was you, I would just buy, whether it's a combination of the two, maybe 1 month or 1 week you buy some Bitcoin and the next month you buy a couple of Ethereum, maybe whatever one dips the most that day. I mean, they normally follow each other pretty well, but, you know, whatever you want to do, whatever your long-term hold is, just regularly buy, like even in the good times and the bad, whether it's pumped, whether it's dumped, whether you've had a good pay, whether you've had a bad pay. Obviously you've got to live and get by and cover your bills, but just be consistent with it. Just invest that amount of money. Now, let's say that your Ethereum has gone up in value, or your Bitcoin, or whatever it was you invested in. Say all of a sudden now you've gained £500 or dollars that you never had before. because your assets have gone up in value. Now, you can use platforms like Nexo, Cellulus, and I'm not recommending you do this, it is a slightly riskier strategy, but say you borrow 50% of your Ethereum, or you can even do the decentralized way, the DeFi way, and get Maker and all of that, which I'm not as huge fan of. I actually prefer Nexo. You can get like, I don't know, you don't have to get 50%, but let's say you've got £1,000 worth of Ethereum, but you want to borrow £500 or dollars out of that platform. Well, use that 500. Now's the time to just be looking out for coins that you think are just going to pump short term. So that now you've got two different holdings. You've got your long term and you've got your short term holdings, investments, whatever you want to call it. Now, ideally, perfect world scenario, your £500 or dollars that you've borrowed against your asset, you then put some money in your short term, and when that short term gains are realised, say you invest in something and it goes up 45%. Well, now you've got, I don't know, now you've got 900 said coin. You can sell £500 worth of that and pay back the loan. Now you've got a little hold in there. It might only be 200, it might be 500, whatever your appetite for risk is. You've got a hold in there that you don't care if you lose. So you can take even riskier strategies now. You can go out there and surf and search for pump and dump coins. Now, in the past, obviously, I've always said, yeah, I just believe in Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, and that is still my opinion. But I believe that you can make more Ethereum out of trading coins, especially buzz coins at the moment, than you ever can mining, than you ever can putting a set amount of money aside. Now, what you do with that is entirely up to you. You can cash them gains out, and you can go and take your wife and kids out shopping and say, look, I made some trades, but then obviously you've got nothing else to trade with. Now, like I say, I put 4 or 5 Ethereum, which is about $1,000 or just over at the time, and I almost doubled it. No, I did double it. I pretty much doubled it. So like I say, I was just under 10 Ethereum. I would have never have done that mining. Like, it would have taken me so long to do that. Obviously, it is a risky strategy, but then so is mining. You can buy a miner for, you know, 2,000. I remember there were some going for £2,000, and you could pay all the electricity costs, and you can have it heating up your bedroom or your house or whatever, and you might not ever break even from it. So that is a gamble. So I don't know, that's my opinion on it, and I've started to notice even some of the more hardcore Bitcoin maximalist type YouTubers, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, you know, like, as I'm sure all of you do, because you're watching my one. It's just their language that they start to use. You start noticing that they're talking about, oh yeah, I'm partnering with this coin, I'm looking into this, and they start naming, and obviously at the moment everyone's talking about the DeFi stuff, so Bancor, who are the other ones, SNX, like Synthetics Network, who's that other one at the moment, Chainlink. So last night I put 4 Ethereum in Chainlink, and it was at $6, and it went up to $8 last night. I was like, woohoo! 30% gain within a night. I woke up and I was like, yes, sweet. So I was well happy with that. So I've cashed out this morning out of Chainlink because it started to dip a bit in price. Now it may go up even further, but you know, this is what I'm talking about. You're literally just leapfrogging from one coin to another. Now who's to say I don't make that 10 Ethereum back? So all the people saying, oh, you're an idiot, you know, you got scammed and all of that. Yeah, I did. I've learned a valuable lesson. I feel like it's honed my skills a bit better. I'm more aware of the liquidity pools, the amount of addresses on Etherscanner. So I'm learning, and I don't know. And also it's exciting as well. I can't knock it. When you invest in a coin, you check it first thing in the morning, and you're like, oh, it only went up like 10%. You're like, you know, or if it dumps 10%, you're like, for fuck's sake, I should have put it in that other one. So it is just like gambling. I know the feeling of gambling, and I know that investing in these coins is gambling. It doesn't mean I'm addicted to it, it doesn't mean I'm hooked, but I do feel that if you can afford it, remember, you only do it if you can afford to wake up and realise that it's gone to zero. If that's whatever that amount of money is to you, if you want to accumulate more Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever coin it is you support, I think that is at the moment the best way to do it. Obviously, if you can use a platform like Binance and just trade coins that are pumping and that, uniswap, literally have a coin and it could pump 150% in a day, like, and it's not just one, there's loads of them, there's loads and loads of them that do that. And I'm not saying I'm a trading, no way, I'm not using any skill at all. I'm literally just going on CoinGecko, seeing which coins are pumping that hour, and then going over to Uniswap and then buying that coin and just riding the wave. And as soon as I notice it starts to dip, depends on how much it dips. So like if I bought a coin and it's gone up, I don't know, like 20%, if it dips like 1.5%, I'm not going to cash out. But if it starts to dip back like, I don't know, 5%, like in a short period of time, then yeah, I'll jump out of it. But then I'm overall net up 15%, you know, whatever I'm saying. Like that love potion one, whatever that was, you know, to do with the game, that went up 150%. I paid like 7% impact costs at the beginning, but I'm way up on, you know, way up on it. And I bet you now, if you go over to CoinGecko after you finish watching this video and you click on the 1 hour time frame on any given page, you can either view all coins or you can just view ones that are based on Ethereum, which are typically the ones that are on Uniswap, and you view which ones have, there's coins right now while you're watching this video that have pumped 100%, like in the last hour. Now, you obviously do have to be careful and do your research and make sure you're checking, like I said, some of the things that I've mentioned already in this video. But you know, if all you need to find is one of those and you've doubled your Ethereum, and then all of a sudden now you've got a nice little pot to maybe put a larger holding in something you do that is less risky. So it's almost like a bouncing between sort of like a high risk strategy, a low risk strategy, high risk strategy, low risk. But then eventually you could say, right, now I've gained, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000 worth of said coin. I'm going to cash out, but I actually really like Litecoin or Chainlink or whatever coin it is. And all of a sudden now you've got a £2,000 holding in it. And if you think that long term that's going to do well, you're going to do all right, you know. And this is the time to do it. I remember in 2016-17 when Bitcoin and all the other altcoins, everyone talks about Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin went from $0 to $20,000. But actually the biggest story there in between that was XRP. XRP went from nothing to one day in particular, went to $3.50 per coin or something like that. I swear it was $3.50. And the guy who owned XRP instantly became the richest man in the world. Like, that's mental. Obviously the price went down after that. It went down to back down to $1 or $1.20, and obviously now it's at like 18 cents. But the amount that XRP went up by was humongous compared to Bitcoin. And one of my friends actually in this, he's in this live stream now. You know, he showed me a screenshot of the day that XRP went up to $3.50. If he'd cashed it out at that point in time, he would have had like 5.5 Bitcoin. And I was thinking, fucking hell, that's like more Bitcoin than you could make, you know. And that was the time where Bitcoin was really expensive as well. That as long as you have the end in your mind at the beginning, yeah, that's I've talked about this a lot. I've mentioned it a lot in my videos. That you should have an exit strategy. You should always think, what is the end? So when you're investing in these coins and you think, right, I'm going to invest in this pump and dump coin, I'll wait until it goes up 40%, 50%, depending on what if it's a low cap one, it'll probably pump harder than, say, I don't know, like Chainlink. Chainlink pumped last night 25%. That's a really good for a sort of top, I think it's in the top 10 or top 20 coin. That's a really good pump, you know. But if that was a small cap coin, that would be nothing. You wouldn't even batter an eyelid for that. You'd be like, oh, you know. So I think that this is a way of either losing all your money, so whether you have that appetite of risk, you know, it's entirely up to you. But it's also a way where you could quadruple the amount of Ethereum or Bitcoin that you initially started off with. And I would love to, obviously, I'm not one of these YouTubers who likes to talk about, oh look, I've made all this money and you should have copied me and all of that. I'm not saying that. I want all of us, everyone in this group chat, I want us all to profit on the way up. The richer you guys become, the happier it makes me, you know. So if someone sends me a message, hey Glenn, I listened to your advice, I invested in this coin, and then, you know, I cashed out at this level because, you know, I had the thought in mind. Great. And I showed you guys the other day with Wirecoin. I said if it pumps anywhere between 8 and 10 euros, I'll cash out. And it got smack bang. As soon as it hit 9 euros, I cashed out. And oddly enough, I hit the top. Now, I didn't know that was going to be top. I had no idea. It's just, I set myself what was going to happen at the end, at the beginning. So if you think to yourself, right, I want to double the amount of Ethereum that I've got. Well, you could use some of the techniques that I've mentioned, maybe borrow some money, not all of it. And if you're not sure about it, just try a little bit. Just so do like, if you had like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, you can send it over to Nexo or Cellulus or BlockFi and all of them. MCO, they do it. Crypto.com, you can borrow money and they actually pay it into your wallet actually. You can just borrow maybe $200. You don't have to borrow the full 50%. Just borrow $200 and just try it. Now if you lose all that $200 then worth of Ethereum or whatever it is that you buy, then that you'll know, you'll be like, okay, I didn't lose an amount of money that is going to break the bank, but I gave it a go. I either did like it or I didn't like it. I sort of understand it a bit better. Maybe you want to do a bit more, maybe you'll leave it at that, and that's you done. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to rush out and gamble your winning, you know, your money that you've made in crypto, but there'll be a day where this ends, the altcoins will finish. pumping like this, and it may be all Bitcoin, and Bitcoin might go up, I don't know, like 5x, and then there'll be a slump, and hardly any coins will pump for maybe 2-3 years, and you'll be thinking, oh, I wish I'd done what, I wish I didn't read that, sorry. You'll think like, oh, I wish I'd done more, I wish I took advantage of the situation at the time, like that Wirecard, winter is coming. Winter is coming. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that investing in some altcoins is a complete waste of time? Do you think it's a waste of money? Or do you think that it's an opportunity that we all have? It's with like places like Uniswap now, it doesn't matter if you're from America, Europe, Asia, it doesn't matter. Like all the governments could say, we don't want you buying altcoins. It don't matter. You could just go on there, as long as you downloaded MetaMask, which is free, put some Ethereum into it, and then that's it. The door is open to thousands of these Ethereum-based coins are open to you. You've got nothing holding you back, no excuses. And the other day, someone commented as well saying, "Oh, I don't like to make gains and stuff in case I have to pay taxes or something like that." Well, it's decentralized. I know that obviously someone could go through your MetaMask or your Etherscan, and they could see where coins came and went and stuff like that. But you should never be put off making money because you might have to pay taxes on it. That's such a backwards way of thinking. Like, I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but I'm not doing that at all. It's just I'm trying to get this message across. Don't be scared of paying taxes. You only pay taxes because you've made money. That's a good thing. I remember going to this classroom and they were trying to sell us something. I didn't get involved in it, but it started off with, who here likes to pay taxes? And like one guy put his hand up, and there was like probably 100 people in this room. There was only one guy that put his hand up, and they sort of said like, what, no one else? And I was like, no, who the fuck likes paying taxes? And then they made him stand up. They said, why have you put your hand up, sir? And he goes, well, if I'm paying a lot in taxes, that means I've made a lot of money. And they went, exactly. So then everyone was like, oh yeah, it's a good point, What would you rather, like, making money and then having to pay the government 20-30% of that, or make zero money, I don't know. Obviously, I do understand if people are in certain situations, like in the UK, if you're on benefits and you make a quick £1,000, was he a plant? maybe, but it just, anyway, the point is that it makes you change your way of thinking. Like, is it better to make money and pay some taxes on it, or is it better to not make any money at all so that you don't have to pay taxes? It doesn't make sense, does it? And obviously with taxes, if you're, you don't even have to be good at understanding taxes. You pay taxes normally a year behind. That gives you plenty of time to make money, fill your boots, go speak to a financial advisor, go and speak to an accountant and say, look, I've made $5 grand through doing these trades. This is what I bought and this is what I sold. But I used my home's electricity. I used my computer, which cost me £1,000. I have used, heating while I was doing it at my property. So all of a sudden, now you're claiming home expenses through the gains that you've had. So then by the time you do all that, the accountant might say, well, once you take all that into account, you only actually made like £500 profit. So actually, you're below the tax threshold, so you pay zero tax. See what I mean? Like, it's worth trying. even if you're on benefits. Obviously, the idea is not to always be on benefits all your life. I don't know, maybe that is your goal. You may be watching this thinking, I want to live off the state and I don't want anything to interrupt or stop that, which is fine, whatever your situation is. You may have a disability, you may be caring for someone, I understand that. But there are so many ways around it. There's so many allowances that you can claim for or use or maximize that you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. I was talking to this accountant. He was driving around in a Jaguar, brand new Jaguar, and I said to him like, oh, that's a nice car, and he said, yeah, blah blah blah. And then through conversation I was chatting to him, and he said to me, he goes, yeah, well, I only earn 12 grand a year. And I was like, what? And he said, well, on paper, by the time you take out all my expenses, I only earn 12 grand a year. And I've heard this from builders. I see builders with fucking luxury homes, 5-bedroom, big houses. They go on nice holidays. They have nice pickup trucks that cost £30,000. And you sort of say to them, like, so how much taxes do you have to pay? And they go, oh no, I fall under the tax bracket. How? How? Like, your car costs more than what I earn a year. How are you paying zero tax? And even things like in the UK, we have national insurance. When you're self-employed, you only have to pay like £12 national insurance. That puts you like the top end of the national insurance contributor, if you like. Now, I've been employed all my life, or all my adult life anyway, and I've always paid like £200-300 in like national insurance alone. If you guys are watching this and you're employed, have a look at your pay slip and see how much national insurance you pay. Now, if you're self-employed, you only pay £12 national insurance. So why are employed people paying £200-400? Why? Obviously, they're making it up. They're making the system up. Otherwise, if everyone was paying £12, national insurance would probably go to the piss. But it's unfair. It's unfair. And when they look at through this accountant, I was talking to him, because he only earns 12 grand a year, he's entitled to benefits on top, because the government say you don't earn enough in the UK to have a minimum living standard. So he gets, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair. So I always recommend, make sure you have a good accountant. If you have a good accountant, you'll do all right going forward. Trust me, you'll do all right. Even if you're on benefits or whatever, disability allowance. I'm not saying anyone commit any benefit fraud, because, you know, I would never do that, so I'd never recommend. But if you speak to the right people, you will do all right. That is my point. So never be scared to take a risk and make money from an investment. If an opportunity comes up, take it with both hands, because if you don't change something, then nothing's going to change. So that was another piece of feedback I got through one of the comments. What else have I had lately? I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about, actually. Obviously, I'd love to hear from you guys. Please comment down below if you have any questions, or in the live chat. Obviously I mentioned in one of my videos, and the reason I'm only bringing these up halfway through the videos is because I know if my videos get, say, 400-500 views, I know probably only about 150 to 200 of you actually watch it all the way through to the end, which is really sad. Like, for me, like, I'm talking to only a very small amount of people, but those people were people that obviously are very interested and invested in me, and obviously this channel. So I've been bringing up the fact that I'm thinking about making this property coin. If I brought it up at the beginning, obviously a lot of people would hear it and there'd be a lot of criticism, but I haven't I haven't figured out how I want to do it. So I brought up, let me just take a drink. They're using a limited company to rearrange their taxes. Yeah, but the thing is, whether it's morally right or wrong, that is a separate question. But it's all legit. It's all within the rules. It's within the tax laws. Morally, whether it's morally right, like I say, is a separate issue. But yeah, I mean, to set up a limited company, I think it costs about, I'm going to say £70. And I went to this conference about properties, and they were saying, you know, if you can earn passive income through rental income, what are you going to do with all your free time? You know, if you rent out 10, 12 properties and you're earning £2,000 a month, what are you going to do with all your spare time? And they said most property investors go on a lot of holidays. But obviously, holidays cost money, which means you need to take money out of either the business or your rental income. So what they said was, create a travel company, or even go on holiday and book to view a property. As long as you view one property, you could say that trip was for business purposes. It was for work purposes. The fact that you brought your wife and kids along and you was there for 2 weeks, you know, you could say, oh, okay, only really morally what you should say is, oh, only 10% of the holiday was for work purposes, so you can only claim 10% of the money back. But how many people do that? So it was really clever, and she even brought up, like, oh, you can even, you know, if you go out for a lot of meals, create a catering company. And I was thinking, oh my God, this woman must own about 7 different companies. And she did. She said, I own a lettings firm, I own a travel company, and she's the only person who goes travelling in a travel company. But it's all tax deductible, all of it. So if she spends £5,000 on a holiday, normally you would have to pay yourself a £5,000 wage and then book your holiday. Well, she's booking it through that travel company, and it's all tax deductible. So now she don't pay tax on it. Well, luckily I think I've brought up everything that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you guys are all smashing that like button for me. I really hope that you've liked this little insight, this chat. You guys seem to like my long drive chats. I think it's because I just talk all my thoughts and that. But I'm really thinking about this like property coin, property investment. As an Aston Martin there. Fucking hell, that's well nice. A property coin. But I don't want to be a typical pump and dump scammy coin. I want a legitimate project, like a legitimate business idea. So I have to sit down and think about it, and it's made me realise actually all these scammy coins, like the way that they make money and the way that they hold the majority of the coin. I understand why now. If you actually sit down and think, how am I, right? So let's say I create 100 million tokens of, say, let's just say, because everyone keeps commenting to me saying, oh Glenn, this Glenn coin that you're thinking of, I'm not thinking of a Glenn coin. I'd hate for it to be called Glenn coin. I'm talking about a legitimate business proposition. I was thinking more like something to do with property UK coin or UK property token or something like that. Where someone commented, it was Crypto Dog Trader. I want to say a big thank you to him because he gave me a really good idea. He said, Glenn, why don't you create a smart contract where if you buy the token, you can actually have voting rights into what property you buy next with the money that is raised from the project. So let's just say that I said, right, here's 3 or 5 properties from Rightmove, here's all the data, here's all the information, or this is one going through an auction. which one do you guys want me to invest in or buy? I buy it. Obviously, I just charge like a wage or something along those lines as part of the managing of the project and buying it and securing the funds and obviously sorting out plumbers, builders, electricians, everything like that. And then obviously all the funds, all the money that gets raised from that project goes back into the project, and I offer some, I'm thinking sort of like a dividend. COVID-19. I'm thinking like some sort of dividends and that. But this is what I would really like, yeah. So if anyone can help me achieve this, please reach out to me. I want a coin that I can create that offers staking rewards. So you stake it. The more you stake it, or the longer you stake it, the more voting rights or power that you have. You can vote on the projects that you want me to invest in or you know, pursue for the company, the brand, the chain, coin, whatever you want to call it. I then go in, renovate the property. I get as close to 100% return on investment as I can. And if some of you don't understand how I would do that, I think I'll have to do another video about that, because my signal will probably cut out down this road. So then the money is returned back to the project some way, whether that's through a bump in the staking reward. So like, say if I set a set inflationary rate of like Hex does. Hex has a set inflationary rate of 3.69% every year regardless, but then it's topped up by all the people that end stake and emergency end stake and all of that. So actually you end up with more than 3%. But I don't want to charge people for early end staking and all that sort of stuff. I'm thinking, what if I was to take, I don't know, let's just say for example 100 grand out of the project, buy a property, renovate it, get it revalued, remortgage it, and then obviously say that now it's worth 150 grand, been renovated and it's like livable conditions. Then I take out the 100 grand and I put it back into the project, and then that is shared out with all the people that staked. And then obviously when the property is then let out, that's a steady monthly income coming in that can be put back into the coin as extra staking reward. So you're earning three ways. One, obviously capital growth through the appreciation of the house going up because it's been renovated. Two, you're earning staking rewards regardless whether I buy properties or not, you're getting the staking rewards. And three, you're getting the rental yield. So there's three ways of earning profit from this token. Imagine how fucking powerful that would be. Three different, if you like, pumpermentals or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I've got in my mind. And now obviously I need to figure out, how do I go about doing that? Like, I'd need to create a website, I'd need to create a white paper, I would need to market it. Then obviously you got like, how do you raise the money to really do it properly? Like, and I was looking at some of the way that projects do it. They do like a crowdfunding, but then that leads down the path of, you know, because you might need to raise like 100 grand at first so that you can pay for like advertising and referrals and the website and all this sort of stuff, and like an auditing firm and everything like that. So it's a massive risk. So you do some sort of, I don't know, crowdfunding or something like that, or initial investors. You get that money together, then you can build on that, and then obviously it can expand. And you can see why these projects, they take a year, 2 years to actually get off the ground and get going, and a lot of them are going to fail. That's the sad truth. But it's opened my eyes. Like, I was thinking, what if I just released an ERC20 token, and then obviously people buy and sell it? Obviously I'll talk about it on my YouTube channel, and then maybe some of the guys will buy it. but then you're talking like a very small amount of trading volume. I then have to hope that obviously it gets picked up by some exchanges or some of these Telegram groups, like, oh yeah, look, this is a new coin coming out on Uniswap, and then it has a little pump from that. Then once it's gone up in value, I can sell some of my stake to raise funds, because if people are just buying and selling the coin, how am I raising the money to go and buy property? So, but then that means the sell pressure is coming from me. I'm the majority shareholder. I'm the central point of failure. I don't want that, so I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I could do, people have to pay me in Ethereum. I can cash Ethereum out like really quick through Coinbase. What if people pay me in Ethereum, then I release certain tokens? But then I was thinking, that's just like EOS and Hex and all of those, and everyone calls them scams because the way that they raise their funds. So I was thinking, oh fucking hell, like, what is the best, how do you raise money then? Like, and I'm not talking about raising money just so I can become rich. I'm talking about raising the money to go and buy these properties. Like, how do I do it? How do I sell or cash out so much of the coin to then invest into a property, which obviously is potentially a risky investment anyway? How do I get the money out to go and buy that property? Now, once I've got the first one, that will get me going, because, like I say, if I do 100% return on investment, like I am on this property that I'm going to now, obviously I'll get all my money back, and then I can go and buy another one. Now that coin has two companies, properties associated with it. So then I was thinking, oh, what if the people that own the coins are a silent investor, if you like? I create a limited company where I have so many shares in the company, and people that own the coin have shares in the company. That saying beeping. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's another way of doing it. Like, I have 50% shares. Whoever buys the token has 50% shares. Like overall collectively. So say there's 1 million coin. Whoever owns 1 million of those coins evenly owns a certain percentage of shares within that company. Now, I don't know what the rules are with UK limited companies who can own and sell the shares, because I think you're supposed to disclose when you're a shareholder. I don't know how it works, but there's loads and loads of ways that I've been looking into it. Now, a lot of people have commented and said, you should create a coin called Glencoin and just release it on this, that, and that, and that. But I'm thinking bigger than that. I'm thinking more like, but how can I go about it where, one, I'm not just going to be called a shiller and a scammer left, right, and centre? How can I do this legitimately and actually have a legitimate product, which is me, really, and my services, obviously investing in UK properties? And it doesn't just have to be UK properties. I was thinking, why limit it to just the UK? What if you guys say, Glenn, I think you should buy a house in America, and I fly all the way to America, and then obviously I shop about and I have the same sort of idea, and I work out how their mortgage system works, and then I invest in a property there. And then I have one in the UK, and I have one in wherever, Hong Kong, China, wherever there's good capital growth and a good rental income. And really, this project can be as big or as little as the people right next to Disneyland. Not at the moment, I don't think, but yeah, that would be sweet. I think I'd rent it. This project could be as big or as little as the market demands, because let's say that I release this coin and it only generates, I don't know, like £1,000 or £10,000. Well, I could use that. The house that I'm going to now, I bought for 42,000. 10,000 would probably be enough as a what's that? That's a 25% deposit. So I could use that, and I could buy a property, and then once I've done one, people would probably comment like, oh look, there's this coin that you can invest in, and someone's actually gone and bought property. Now I would put the property on YouTube. I would say, hey guys, this is like me doing a live walkthrough of the property. This is what you have bought with your property token, look. And then I walk around the house and it was like an absolute shithole, and then obviously I'd go in, renovate it, and then I'll do another video. Right, this is what your, you know, property token now owns and holds a share of, and then walk around the property, and then everyone sort of like says, oh yeah, brilliant, oh, I feel like I own a little bit of a home. That is such a good feeling. Like I was trying to explain it to my wife, and she was like, oh, I don't get it, I don't get what you're trying to do. And I said, all right, let me just put it to you this way. Imagine if you own some shares of Next, or a token, Next coin, or H&M, or whatever fashion outlet that you guys know. Imagine, because you own some of that coin, you get a monthly or weekly email saying, hi Rebecca, you're a shareholder of this token. These are 3 different designs of dress that we're thinking of for next summer. Please use your tokens to vote on which dress you would like us to manufacture and get to store. She went, oh my god, I'd love that. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but for properties. Like, what if people could own a token, vote on a property? Now, some people won't bother. They'll just be like, look, I just want to see gains. I want to see 100 times gains. But some people will really, really love that. They will think, oh my God, with £50, I actually own a little bit of a house in the UK. Where else can you do that? Like, you tell me, how else can you do that? So I just thought it was a really exciting idea. I really think, I've been thinking about it a lot. It's actually kept me awake a couple of nights now, just laying there thinking about how I would do it. And I've been meaning to do like a YouTube video for it, like, you know, a proper edited one and that, where I sit down and discuss different ideas with it. But for now, while I'm doing these properties, unfortunately this is going to have to be it, these little live streams, because it's hard for me to fit the time in at the moment. So yeah, I don't know, I've just got all these ideas in my head, like, of what I want to do and how I can do it legitimately and really make people proud to own the token. And like, all these coins, I see them all the time and they're just fucking shit. They're just piles of shit and they don't do anything, and they all come out with blur. Like the one I invested in the other day was I think it was like that BRDG or something, and I read the main page of it, and it was like, we're looking to decentralize the protocols within the underlying assets of the blockchain and be a side chain to many other blockchains, blah blah. And I just thought, what a load of bleh, bleh. Like, I understand that some of those projects, like Chainlink, that's what Chainlink are trying to do, but they're clearly just copying something that's already been done, and they're just putting in many of the buzzwords within their headline of their website as possible, so that people go, oh yeah, this is like the future of whatever. But really, it's not. You know, it's just a load of bleh. That's the best way I could, gumph, shit. You know, that's my opinion anyway. There might be people watching this going, I really love BRDG, or I can't remember what coin it was. And some of them out there are just like, they come up with some little idea, and I think, well, how can that grow? How can you scale that? You know, I just think, what a load of bleh. So I like things that are actually, you guys know, I like cryptocurrencies that work. They actually do something. And I was thinking, you know, if I could, say if I was to release this coin, once I've figured out the legalities of it, if you like, and the accountancy side of it, if I could figure it out and actually do something with it, you know, I actually go out and buy a property with it, and I share it to the world. Look, this is what you own. This is what you've got. That's real. That's real. You know. Now, I'm not saying everyone that owns a token should go around the house and not go, "Oh, I own some of this house," because then that'll just be creepy. But obviously, it'll have to be rented out. So, like, it sounds weird, but obviously, I'd have to. I don't know how I'd go about it. Like, obviously, would I disclose the full address and the details of people that are living there? Obviously not. So then I'd have to keep that to myself, and then everyone will comment saying, "Oh, Coin's a scammer. He hasn't released the list of properties that he's bought." And I was thinking, if this coin really took off, let's just say that it did take off, and all of a sudden it's raising, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions. Great. Let's go buy a big plot of land, get planning permission, and build 5 or 6 houses. And then that whole area will be, yeah, this is owned by Property UK token. Do you know what I mean? That's mental. That'd be awesome. And then from that, then you get contracts with, I don't know, like councils and local government bodies, and say, okay, well, you need schools and commercial buildings and more rental properties. Yeah, okay, well, you know, the power of the Property UK token, or whatever it's going to be called, we have, you know, 100,000 of us decentralized investing, looking to invest within this area. We've got the funds to buy this land and build 20-30 homes on it, you know, but we want to guarantee from you that you'll rent those properties of us for the next 50 years, 100 years or whatever. And the councils will be like, yeah, Ryan, because they can't build the homes themselves. They can't build them quick enough. They haven't got the... So, like, all of a sudden then you get like a 50-year contract, and you'll get a mortgage forever. You go to a mortgage company and say, look, I've got a guarantee that I'm going to have 50 years worth of rental income for these 20 homes. Banks will be your best friend. All of a sudden I can leverage the money and get that money back out, and then put it back into the project again. And then all of a sudden now we've got, and then I've just got this like huge like idea of what it could be. And unfortunately, the thing that's holding me back at the minute is you only know what you know. You know, I don't know cryptography. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to get it on exchanges. Now, obviously, I could learn that as I went through it. I mean, you're talking like probably a year, 2 years project sort of thing. But I've really got a good feeling about it. I do this whenever I get a business idea. I get really excited about it, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I start thinking of loads of different ideas. But I don't know, and I was thinking, so like I was saying, a lot of these coins are just like gump. Imagine people saying like, oh yeah, here's a coin, look at the white paper, look at the website, they're quoting that they can do this and return on investment plus rental yield, and then like say 6 months later, you know, or even not even that long, I mean, this property that I bought, I'm thinking it's going to be fully renovated within 4 weeks. I'm not saying that will definitely happen again, another one, but imagine if it was renovated within 4 weeks, and then I get a remortgage on it through the limited company. So the company owns the property. That's a month turnaround. So like a month later, people are like, oh yeah, you know that coin that we thought was scammy? Yeah, they've actually gone and bought a property and renovated it, and they've returned the investors' money 100% within a couple months. Boom. And imagine the pump from that, like people saying, oh my god, this is actually a coin that is doing stuff. Like, you actually are helping contribute towards something in the real world, not just some protocol or code online that is joining on with some other code online. Like, you're actually doing something with that money in the real world. I can see that pumping hugely. So people might not care about the properties. They might just buy it just because they want the 20 pump that will come through good news stories from it, like I'm doing with all these other coins. And this is what, you know, I put in the video, could I turn the scam into a positive? I only thought of this idea because I thought, oh, you know, that's a lot of effort for someone to scam me out of a couple of Ethereum. Now obviously like 30 odd people did something similar. They put in whatever, half an Ethereum, maybe 1 Ethereum, maybe 0.1 of Ethereum. So they might have gained, I don't know, 10 Ethereum, which is like like $2,500 at the moment. And I thought that's a lot of effort, creating a website, creating an ERC20 token. And that's what made me look into it. Well, actually, how hard is it to create an ERC? Because there's a lot of them about. So then I looked into it. I was like, oh, you can just copy and paste. Anyone could do it. Anyone could create an ERC20 token for anything. If you make cakes and you want to create an ERC20 token for making cakes, you can do it by the end of today. I'll probably do a video about how I do it and who I use or whatever. But one of the guys was talking, the crypto dog trader. He commented in the Discord group, which I don't normally get notifications for the Discord group, but for some reason I got this one, and he said, look, you want to actually go and learn to code and code it yourself, because you can't trust anyone out there, which is fair enough. But I mean, then you're talking about the time it takes me personally to learn cryptography. You've got to hope that I make no mistakes, there's no bugs. It's just not worth it. It's not, yeah, it would be worth it long term wise if you create your own blockchain with it and that, but I'm better off just going to a cryptographer group or someone that's trusted in the community and saying, look, I want to create a coin that can pay staking rewards, but then also every time this money gets put into this smart contract. Oh, I'm getting phone calls now. No back doors. Yeah, I want it to be legit. That's what I'm trying to say. I want it to be all legit and above board and secure, and I want all of that before I really put myself into it. So I need to research all of that, and I need to do my homework. But it could just be a massive flop. I might create it with the best intentions in the world, but if I haven't got £100,000-200,000 marketing budget, you know, because for me to get all these YouTubers, like people like BitBoy or Superman and Ivan on Tech, to get all them to talk about it, you have to pay them, like, you know, a good sort of £5,000 just to mention you in a video, you know, like to do an interview with you or to just talk about your coin and what potential it has. And that's what I see a lot of. I see a lot of these YouTubers who, especially at the moment with this DeFi craze really kicking off at the moment, they're doing videos like, I'm seeing it a lot, like Cardano, could it go to 1,500 per coin? You know, I'm seeing that a lot, and I don't like that. When you actually watch the video, at some point they'll say something like, oh, the Cardano team have got in touch with me, or I'm working with the Cardano team, which is all code for AKA being paid to promote that coin. So I don't know, like, could I just do it on my own? I mean, this is obviously a small channel. I've only got 2,300 followers, and I wouldn't expect those followers to be the ones that shill or pump the coin itself. It needs to be something that people find on their own and they think, oh, this guy's got a legitimate product. That's my opinion. That's the best way I can think of doing this. But I'd love to hear any of your feedback. If any of you out there are thinking, oh, I know a bit about cryptography, or I could probably help Glenn out with that, message me. Even if it's something small, just message me, because
you know, sometimes you can only think at the idea of what you're thinking, and sometimes you think it several times over, and someone will just say something like, why don't you just do that? And you're like, oh yeah, and it just puts a little light bulb, like ding, like. So any of your feedback would be much appreciated. Hopefully you're all smashing that like button for me so that this video goes out there, gets to more people. Hopefully we can get a cryptographer involved. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I've sort of like mentioned a few times now, I've brought it up in videos, and I've brought it up like in conversation, like what do you guys think of this property token? And I don't know, people like, I think I had 1 or 2 people in the group chat say, yeah, sounds good. And that's it. That's the only feedback I've had. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, obviously in my mind, I'm thinking this is fucking grand, epic project. And then someone's like, yeah, it seems all right. And I think, what? But anyway, that's it from me, guys, I suppose. I've been talking long enough. You're probably bored of my tone of my voice. It says here that we've got 9 likes, but we've got 16 people watching. So there's at least 7 of you that haven't hit that like button. So hopefully you can do that for me. If you are new to this channel, please click the subscribe button. And I will do a video at some point this week. I have brought my laptop with me. So I will sit down and do a video. I might even just do like a test run, like a test ERC20 token before I really put a lot of my own money into a project. I might create a ERC20 token that literally does nothing, right? And I might not even tell you guys what it is, because I'd hate anyone to be like, oh yeah, let's buy £100 worth of the Glencoin, he's going to pump it, and then I don't, you know, or whatever. So where is the like button on the live stream? That is a good question. Depending on what device you're on, I think if you're watching this on your phone or tablet, if you turn it upways so that I'm only at the top bit, normally there's a like and dislike button there. If you're watching it on a PC, I don't know. Good point. Maybe that's why these live streams don't get as many likes as the pre-recorded ones. But yeah, I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you to everyone that's been messaging me lately. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter with the name @BitGlenn, or you can join the Telegram group chat. Oh no. There's an undercover cop in front of me that's I'm not in trouble, but he's stopping literally the car in front of me going, which says that there's an accident up here, which means I may be sitting here for a couple more hours than I thought. Which in that case, I might as well keep talking. See if I can pan the camera around, because but you can't see it, it's too far away. $20 miles an hour. Damn. Now he's coming to a stop. Oh, yeah. What does this mean? Oh, he's pulling over on the grass. Oh, right. An accident has happened, but he's on the side of the road, so I'm gone. Yes. I'm clear. Hey! Oi. Yeah, so what was I saying? I think I was wrapping this video up. It's been going on for about an hour and a half. There's still 11 of you watching, so thank you for watching all the way through to this video. I hope that I do actually prefer it when I'm sitting at home and I do these live streams, because then I can read all your comments and bounce off you. But I don't know, whenever I upload these videos of me driving and stuff like that, you guys seem to really like it. So I don't know, maybe you guys just, you know, people that are watching these YouTube videos, they prefer to watch rather than take part. So I don't know, there you go. That's it from me, guys. I'll end it there, and I'll see you on the next video from myself. Bye.